Hi guys, it's Melissa, your plantita abogada from Tasteful Nodes. Just having a little bit of fun. So today's episode is about a plant that I really love. Anthurium. I know a lot of you guys are not too into anthuriums. They're not as easy as philodendrons to care for, but I promise that this is one of the easier ones for me, huh? Anyhow, let's get into my disclaimers, Plantita Abogada's disclaimers, before we dive into our subject for today. One, and this is the important one, KKB tayo. Kanya-kanyang bayad ng halaman. I will be showing you a plant that I absolutely adore, a plant that I've grown before that I could have propagated except for certain circumstances, which I will make cuento about later. But don't ask me for plant child support if you don't have the self-control not to buy, huh? So if you do buy, I would suggest buying smaller if that's what fits in with your budget. Pero if it doesn't fit in your budget, wag muna, okay? KKB talaga tayo. Do not ask me for plant child support. Number two, I'm not a expert. I make these videos to show you what I've learned, to show you tricks and tips that I've seen from others, that I've adopted for myself, that worked for me. Pero because we spend a lot of time, money, and effort in growing our plants, whatever tips and tricks I share here, please do us, me, you, and our plants a favor and make sure na you get a second opinion on the tips and tricks that I share here. Make sure that the tips and tricks I share that you would like to try are adapted to your personal growing environment. My third disclaimer is that I should not be used as an academic resource. I am not an expert. I'm a hobbyist just like you, who just happens to like to read a lot. You know, it's part of the JD experience, the Juris Doctor experience, not the Doctor of Botany experience. If I do share any facts or figures, official facts and figures, I'll be sure to put the notes down below so that you can see where I retrieve that information and you can use it to your own purposes as well, okay? Fantastic. Do not sue me. Okay, we're done. Now, this plant I originally got through a swap. I think it was Plant Swap Manila on Facebook, and it was a great swap for me. A small Florida beauty for a small Anthurium Forgettii. This was during the lockdown. This is all that is left of that Anthurium Forgettii. It was growing beautifully. So it had a stalk. I think it had 4 growth points, 4 offshoots, no? That I could have harvested and put in its own pot, but I chose not to because I was like, oh, the roots look fantastic. Well, apparently I was not the only one who thought that, because the rats in my greenhouse also thought the same. So I have here, right here, a stem that's left, a tiny little stump of a stem left behind, you know? You can see all these beautiful green roots cut. They're not attached to anything anymore, right? And I mean, they're just healthy, but they're not gonna grow anything because there's no stem attached. This happened at the turn of the new year. You know, I was out there in my greenhouse inspecting, and of course I was heartbroken because I had been taking care of this plant since last year, early last year. And, you know, I was just really excited to finally cut it up, to finally remove the babies and you know, repot them. And it looked like I was a little too late. I know that they say that aroids are normally are toxic to animals. That's what they say. Aroids are toxic to animals, no? Pero for some reason, the rats here in Tarlac, these are the guys who live in the rice fields, no? Yung sa palayan. Their stomachs must be made of something else, because this is not the only anthurium of mine that they've attacked, no? They've attacked a vitarifolium, a pallidiflorum, I'm trying to think what other anthuriums I've had here. Polysticum. Gosh. Basta, sarap na sarap sila. They really enjoy anthurium, and for people who collect anthuriums, I would suggest probably putting out more rat traps, which is what I started doing just this past week, and we've caught two big ones. Two big ones. This is just the body alone, not the tails yet, no? And it explains why and how they chewed up this plant. So I went to Plant Daddy and I was just like, ah, tululuha, so sad. And explaining to him that, you know, my anthurium, oh my God, my anthurium is alive and well, at least the roots are, and that's it. So, you know, bless the guy for having the patience to deal with my tears about a plant. You know, he understands the pain because he's a plant person too. And he surprised me recently with a purchase. And that's my unboxing video today, is my present from Plant Daddy. And let me go ahead and pull it up because it's huge. The box is huge. I would have otherwise been covered. Check this out, right? Good packing. As you can tell, got their little fragile sticker all over the place, right? All around. Directions as to which direction is up. They have a box on top of another one, so it's easier to come up. Sounds like it's gonna be a big plant just because of that. I mean, they're not closing the top. But without further ado, let's go ahead and see if we can open this big boy. So the thing with Anthurium Forgettii, you know, according to Steve at exoticrainforest.com, at least I think that's the website. I'll go ahead and flash it on the screen if it isn't. But Steve is pretty trusted in the international plant community, you know, especially pagdating sa aeroids. So when I read on Steve's website, you know, with a little bit of research I needed to do before this video, I was quite surprised to find out that the Anthurium Forgettii is older than my mom. It's not a reflection on my mom or on me. It's a reflection on the fact that this plant has been around for a long time. According to Steve, and I did verify what is it? Was it Q? I think it was Q Gardens. Now they did in fact report that the first time it was described in her Horticultural Society was in 1906. 1906, guys. We might have lolas and lolos who are still alive from that time, but yeah. So this plant has been around for that long, and it's been used in several hybrids now, no? And it's also a plant that is, you know, I mean, as far as we're concerned here in the Philippines, we're pretty tropical. It's something that would do well here. You know, I've seen it grow in the ground, in soil. People have grown it in the ground, in soil in Hawaii. So it's quite pleasant to think now that's something that we can do here as well. But anyway, that's a little bit about the Anthurium Forgettii. It's really well packed. We've got cushion or cotton. We've got cotton coming off the top, and rightfully so. Holy cow! How big is this? Look at this, it's coming out of the top. I don't know if you see it, but look at this. It's coming out of the top. I'm so lucky. Thank you, Plant Daddy. I really am. It's not a paid sponsorship po yung pagsabi ko dyan. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Let's go free this guy from his little prison. Gosh, so Oh my gosh. Now this plant, I was beginning to say where we got it from. It is from Suaveroids. Hoi, 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 hoi. And he's got the little mustache too. Adorable. Adorable business name. Adorable logo. Wow, magnificent plant. So these strings right here on the bottom, right? This actually goes across right all the way over here. So you've got a string going across there, and then you've got another string going across from there to there. What it is it's holding the pot in place from the inside as well. Sorry, baby. But yeah, see? So I gotta cut those. Fantastic packaging, Suaveroids. Good job, really, truly. So we also have some, from the looks of it, recycled paper, no? Which I'm completely for. We make enough garbage as it is, so let's go ahead and adopt that reduce, reuse, recycle lifestyle, you know? That's in our footprint as well. Look at this. I mean, look at this. My face. Who's got a bigger face? If you say me, persona non grata ka na, ha? Buntis lang po ako. Hindi naman masyadong mataba. So, the Anthurium Forgettii, before I continue, is well known for its closed sinus, no? Unlike other plants, here, I don't know if I could pull this in all the way, pero mudiano ito, this guy right here. And you can see that there's an open sinus here, no? This is the dip, kumbaga, kung saan nakadikit yung petiole sa dahon, right? So, this guy doesn't have one. See? No, this is the petiole insertion right here. It's where all of those veins come out of. Dito sa pinakagitna. Let me show it to you from the back. So it's right there in the top third portion of the leaf, no? So nandiyan lang siya. And that's the difference, or that's the main defining characteristic of the Anthurium Forgettii. Aside from the fact that it's a velvet leaf, it also has a closed sinus, no? Man, he undid himself, or outdid himself. Let me go ahead and take this out, and we can talk about care, because I think I'm looking at his mix, and it's pretty similar to the mix that I have mine in, huh? I had mine in. Mga daga talaga. I have problems with rats. God, and they're pests. They really are. You know, they are the worst. Because they'll just leave you roots. It's like, wow, thanks. You actually left me some root. You know, should have left me some plant or something, a node. So with this guy, I try to keep it out of direct sunlight. I have it in my greenhouse. I had it in my greenhouse, which has a 70% shade net on top. And this guy, since it was in a smaller pot, was actually underneath my bigger philodendrons and thaumatophyllums and an anthurium brownie eye. So he was getting really bright but indirect sunlight back there, no? And that's the same thing I would do with this, is I would keep it out of any kind of direct sunlight. In fact, I might just keep it here since the rats are not as vicious in this area, you know, compared to my greenhouse, until we get that under control. As far as watering is concerned, I water all of my plants at the same time. So I like to keep my substrate moist. Even this poor guy has been watered. I like to keep my substrate moist. I don't want it completely soaked. So I do use soilless, no? And I water when everyone is probably a day before dry. That's what I do. I don't wait for it to become dry, because the roots for these guys, I mean, they're excellent, no? But once these dry up, shrivel up and dry up, the root rot is bad, 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 bad. A sign of a healthy anthurium is also the fact that their roots are nice and chubby and and I wouldn't say moist, but well hydrated. I mean, they're not shriveled up. You could tell it really is. They're easy plants to deal with, especially if you have them in one of these kinds of pots also. And I also see a root growing out of one of the holes on the bottom. So yeah, this is a very happy guy. Might have to repot him soon though. So again, this is a plant from Suaviroid. Suaviroids. Hoi, 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 hoi. I'm sorry. I can't resist. But they're out of Parañaque. We've bought from them before, and they're definitely on our recommended sellers list. They're a really, really good plant shop to buy from. The plants are healthy, sulit ang mga presyo. They ship this via Victory Liner, okay? Since I've gotten pregnant, I really try to limit going out. And this year, I think I've only been out in public once aside from my medical appointments. So with Suaviroids, they actually shipped our plant via Victory Liner, dropped it off at a Victory Liner bus depot, and it came here overnight, again, in pristine condition. So really happy about this. As far as the care for this, the things that I already covered was sunlight, watering, substrate needs to be well draining because, you know, we don't want to drown these roots, diba? Fertilizing, just like he's using here, it looks like we share that in common. A slow release fertilizer is also good. What else am I missing? Humidity is not a problem here in the Philippines, at least not for one of these guys. So I usually have a pebble tray for these guys, for my anthuriums, and they're fine, even though it's super hot here. And I think that's it. Here's my latest member of the family, and I thank you for watching this plant unboxing with me. Now, if you liked the information or if you enjoyed this video, you know, the kwentuhan, the chikahan, if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know. Give me a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so that you can be notified whenever I have new videos out there. And if you want to see more pictures of my plants, I'm on Instagram as Tasteful Nodes, and I have longer write-ups on Facebook of plant care, plant tips, sometimes jokes. Not necessarily everything that I handle here on YouTube either. So check me out there. Give me a follow on Facebook as well. I'm there as Tasteful Nodes. Okay? Sa uulitin, stay classy and keep your nodes tasteful. Bye guys. Take care.